For some reason, I had myself muted. Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the... what is it? Welcome back to our Around the Hearth discussions. This time... Not Around the Hearth. I'm getting myself mixed up. Woo! Today is a day. So I am... we are back with our house specials is what we're doing. And we are in the realm of Atar, discussing how we are going to be working around our penultimate session with the kids, because it is getting to the point. They're coming to the point where we are actually going to be facing Grum. So, not Grum, Rexus. So we are over here, and it is episode 6. Before we get into anything, remember that the Interplanar Crossroad is supported by travelers and viewers like you, so if you'd like to do that, you can pop over to theiopc.com or inofplanarcrossroads.com, and all of our social links and our support options are over there, or you can just contact us directly through any of those other means, and you can find us. So, there you go. Let me see. I am... currently gonna have you guys, we'll zoom in a little bit so we can have a little bit more of a look. We are picking up where the kids left off last time, so let me see. Let's get over to episode 6, because I incorporated, like last time, I incorporated what happened into this one, into this particular recap. Do remember, also, just to give credit where it's due, the music you're hearing is by Adrian von Ziegler from some of his free YouTube stuff, if you want to use it. So there you go. But let's go ahead and get into this so we don't take too much of y'all's time. Episode 6. So, episode 6 was titled "The Infernal in the Inferno." Boom, boom, boom. So it goes as such, at least as far as flavor text. Infiltrating the volcanic stronghold of Rexus, while not easy, was no match for the ingenuity of the Dragon Slayers. They did get quite the surprise, however, when just as they entered the fiery mountain, they saw an enormous facsimile of the red dragon's upper body, made of lava and rock, emerge from the broken peak to spew massive blasts of molten stone across his blackened plains toward the undoubtedly approaching dwarven forces. They knew time was of the essence. The party suspected the demoniacal dragon to be employing a similar artifact as Grum had. If this was the case, then there had to be a center of power that he would consider safe enough to make a control room. Their search quickly proved fruitful as they came toward the door as they came upon a door made of the same dark iron the draconic forces used for their weapons. It had been shaped into a bladed gate on the other side of which the group could see a magically pulsing pod housing the Scarlet Lord. Boom, boom, boom. So that's what they came upon last time. They rolled some challenge rolls. Let me see. I took a picture of the board, because for this we were using a board, and I will need to next time also. And I might share these after it's all said and done. Might share these videos with y'all, these pictures with y'all. So let's see. They all succeeded on their challenge rolls this time, because the way these games begin is they begin with a challenge roll. They begin with initiative, and then causality, and then a challenge event. So causality is something that I like to do. It just inserts some environmental effects of some kind, positive or negative, into the rotation of initiative, keeps it spicy, and it's not just a back and forth, they go, we go, they go, we go type of thing. So they all succeeded, and Hildegard was rolling really well. There's enough people in it right now, a few people transferred into the class, that we are rotating control of individuals. So it seemed like everybody was rolling good for Hildegard when they rolled for her. So she double succeeded, she crit succeeded. So that let them come upon a fewer numbers, what I kind of went with on that one, of baddies. And they also were able to see a few things outside and not have to deal with as much difficulty and such. I think someone did spend one of Wilhelm's. No, they didn't spend one of Wilhelm's legend points to get a succeed. They almost did. But anyway, the challenge event went all right for them. And then they weren't rolling too terrible in general. They came upon this gate, and it was interesting to see how they're doing it. Most of the kobolds I had flavored it had moved out because they were going across the plains to intercept this force of dwarves. And I assume Rexus was kind of thinking that this was a final push by the dwarves, with so many of them being there. So that is what we had there. Let's get into the encounter, because it has some of the flavor from last time's session also. So the encounter reads, "He must have been more confident than Grum, since it seemed there were only a few kobold commanders left to guard this gate. They stood no chance against our heroes, but they would consume time. Hildegard knew the dwarves, possibly even her new friends among them, might at that very moment have fire raining from the sky upon them. She wasn't going to waste time on these trivial brutes. Between the swing of steel and cast of spell, she let out a burst of rebuke against the foul mutations so forceful that they collapsed in fear. After such a display of will, there was little left to say. Hildegard continued to radiate light as Wilhelm burst open the black metal gates. Maximilian readied his water orb. Devereaux chose a transformation. Then the evil creature within the fleshy sack opened its sickly yellow eye. With that look of pure hatred and sound of great tearing, the heinous beast ripped free. No more minions, no more mutations. Now it was time to face the master of the Scarlet Horde and end his reign of terror." Appropriately epic. And these last few ones, when we come to the big finales, they usually are less wordy. Next time should be less wordy, unless the kids do something that they need to record it down. That might be fun to see. But right now, they should be okay to face him. I am a little concerned, but I'll get to that in a minute. So we have that take place, and this flavoring of Hildegard comes from the fact that Hildegard super succeeded. She super rebuked them. She has something that is titled "I Rebuke Thee," and it's associated with creation versus their resolve. Basically, it's a display of power and of the power of the light. So these are foul creations. It's not crazy then that they would have this effect. It would have this effect on them. That is why they didn't have to really face them. They all just collapsed. But that was way near the end. They were just rolling something to roll something fun at the end. The group ended up doing all right. I think this next one, like I said, I'm going to flavor it where they've already burst through the doors, these bladed gates. And they were bladed so they couldn't just squeeze through them. They're this wrought metal in harsh, bladed, and possibly even serrated in that blading of gates and geometric shapes so that you can't just squirm through. So they did burst those down. I'm already going to flavor that. Rexus is already going to be burst out of this flesh sack that he was controlling it with, this mutation sack he was controlling that big artillery bit with. So, that being said, I'm pretty sure that we're going to have some tough rolls this next time. I've noticed that the wyverns I've been using have been a substantial threat, more substantial than I was expecting. And I'm thinking, instead of using a full-on dragon type of stat block, I'm going to just incorporate in a lot of the abilities from the... I'm going to have the wyvern there, but then incorporate abilities from the other kobold stat blocks I have and use that instead, and just work between those different stat blocks and kind of figure it out for them, because they're having a little bit of a fight with it. Now, some of that's them and some of it's not. These are pretty good wyverns. I'm just a little surprised at how good they are against that many PCs, 4 PCs. So we'll see how it goes. They will be fighting Rexus for two actual full combats. They'll have a full session against Rex, 2 of them against Rexus. That'll make it more of a set piece, a very big thing to remember in the battle. And there will be this next one will be a phase 2 portion where things get different. I'm hoping that they remember to, and I'm going to describe things in such a way that they hopefully remember to focus in on that artifact in order to either obtain it or remove it from powering some of the things that Rexus is doing, and so on and so forth. That's my idea. We'll see what the kids do, and we'll see how that works. And I'm not above letting some characters die. That has it didn't happen to Remigius, but he was basically incapacitated for the rest of the campaign because of their actions. So we'll see how it goes here. They're going to have to keep... I gave that extra boost of fire resistance to Hildegard and Maximilian because their guard was just so low. The way we're working Devereaux is that each of his transformations have their own HP pool, and any overflow goes on to him. So he does have that, and then he can't use that transformation until he sees this, until he meditates into the stars or something like that, is around the stars again and not under threat. So we do have that. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I'm interested to see how the kids handle it. But they've handled it so far up to this point, so they'll probably be all right, right? Probably nothing to worry about, right? Probably not going to have anybody die, right? It would be interesting. It would be interesting, but not something I necessarily would like to have to try and write in. But anyway, we'll see what the kids do. I don't see anybody in the chat at the moment, so that's okay. No worries. You can always leave a comment later. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll see how things go. As far as announcements, we're going to keep up these live streams on Monday, I think. I think we're going to try for those live at 11 type of things if we can work it through the schedule. But otherwise, we should have a pretty good... I'll be pretty open to seeing what you all would like to see on these live streams, what you would like to discuss. I'm going to be doing mainly probably some art or creation or something along with this creative side. I would think that's good for people. And then we can chat while we do that. And it'll be, I don't know, as long as it needs to be. We'll kind of figure something out that works right. But that's what we've got for now, I think. As always, have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.